What if I told you that every single night while you sleep, your unconscious mind is trying desperately to communicate with you? That behind the bizarre imagery, the strange narratives, and the seemingly random chaos of your dreams lies a sophisticated guidance system more intelligent than any GPS, more intuitive than any therapist, and more personal than any life coach you could ever hire. You dismiss them as meaningless. You forget them before your feet hit the floor. You laugh them off as the brain's random firing of neurons. But what if you're wrong? What if, in ignoring your dreams, you're ignoring the most profound source of wisdom you'll ever encounter? Tonight, when you close your eyes, something extraordinary will happen. Your conscious mind will step aside, and another intelligence will take over. An intelligence that knows things about you that you don't even know about yourself. An intelligence that has been trying to guide you, warn you, heal you, and show you the way forward since the moment you were born. The revolutionary dream researcher Jeremy Taylor spent over 40 years discovering that dreams are not random neural static, but purposeful messages from the deepest parts of ourselves. He found that every dream, no matter how strange or disturbing, carries what he called a gift of healing and wholeness. But here's what will shock you. Most people are completely blind to this gift. They're walking through life with their eyes closed to the most powerful guidance system they possess. You see, there's something Jeremy Taylor understood that most dream researchers missed entirely. Dreams don't just reflect your psychological state. They don't just process your daily experiences. They actively guide you towards psychological and spiritual growth. They show you not just who you are, but who you could become. They reveal not just your problems, but your solutions. They don't just mirror your past. They illuminate your future. But here's the disturbing truth that Taylor discovered. The more disconnected you become from your dreams, the more lost you become in your waking life. The more you ignore these nightly messages, the more you struggle with the very issues your dreams are trying to help you resolve. You wonder why you keep making the same mistakes, why you feel stuck in patterns you can't break, why solutions seem so elusive. The answer might be waiting for you every night in your dreams. Consider this. How many times have you woken up from a dream feeling like it meant something important, only to let it slip away? How many times have you had a dream so vivid, so emotionally charged, that it stayed with you for days, but you never bothered to explore what it might be telling you? How many times has your unconscious mind reached out to you through symbolism and metaphor, only to be dismissed by your rational, waking consciousness? Jeremy Taylor revolutionized our understanding of dreams by proving something that indigenous cultures have known for millennia. Dreams are not private, meaningless experiences, but communications from a deeper wisdom that transcends our ordinary consciousness. He showed that when we learn to listen to our dreams, we gain access to insights that can transform every aspect of our lives. But Taylor went further than this. He discovered that dreams have what he called multiple layers of meaning. A single dream might simultaneously be processing yesterday's stress, revealing childhood trauma, offering guidance for a current relationship, and showing you the next step in your spiritual evolution. Your unconscious mind is multitasking at a level that would make the most sophisticated computer seem primitive. Think about the last dream you remember clearly. Maybe you were being chased by something you couldn't see. Maybe you were flying through a landscape that felt both foreign and familiar. Maybe you were talking to someone who died years ago. Your rational mind says these images are nonsense, but Taylor's research suggests something radically different. These images are your psyche's attempt to communicate complex emotional and spiritual truths that your conscious mind isn't ready to hear directly. The chase dream isn't about being chased. It's about what you're running from in your waking life. The flying dream isn't about defying gravity. It's about your soul's longing for freedom from whatever is weighing you down. The conversation with the deceased isn't random neural firing. It's your unconscious mind accessing wisdom and perspective that transcends the boundaries of linear time and physical existence. But here's where Taylor's work becomes truly revolutionary. He discovered that dreams don't just reveal problems, they actively work towards solutions. Your unconscious mind is constantly experimenting with different scenarios, testing various approaches, rehearsing new behaviors, and integrating disparate aspects of your personality. While you sleep, you're literally working through the challenges of your waking life. Have you ever woken up with sudden clarity about a problem that had been troubling you? Have you ever found yourself knowing exactly what to say to someone after dreaming about them? Have you ever felt emotionally resolved about something that had been causing you pain without consciously working through it? These aren't coincidences. These are examples of your dreams doing therapeutic work while you sleep. Taylor called this the healing function of dreams. He observed that people who pay attention to their dreams tend to move through psychological difficulties more quickly than those who ignore them. They make better decisions. They have more satisfying relationships. They feel more connected to their authentic selves. It's as if they have access to an inner guidance system that others are missing. But there's something even more profound happening in your dreams. Taylor discovered that dreams often contain what he called compensatory wisdom. If you've been too analytical in your waking life, your dreams will be highly emotional and intuitive. If you've been avoiding a difficult truth, your dreams will present it to you in symbolic form. If you've been disconnected from your creativity, your dreams will be wildly imaginative. Your unconscious mind is constantly working to balance and integrate all aspects of your personality. This is why paying attention to your dreams isn't just about understanding yourself better. It's about becoming more whole, more balanced, more integrated as a human being. Your dreams are actively guiding you towards psychological completeness. Consider the people in your life who seem to have an unusual depth of self-awareness, who make decisions that consistently align with their authentic nature, who navigate challenges with a kind of intuitive wisdom. What if I told you that many of these people, whether they realize it or not, are unconsciously influenced by the guidance they receive in their dreams? Jeremy Taylor spent decades documenting cases of people whose lives were fundamentally changed by paying attention to their dreams. He found artists who discovered their life's work through dream imagery. He found entrepreneurs who solved business problems through dream scenarios. He found people who avoided accidents, made crucial relationship decisions, and found their life purpose through dream guidance. But perhaps most remarkably, he found that dreams often contain information that the dreamer couldn't have known through ordinary consciousness. Dreams of future events that later came true. Dreams that revealed hidden aspects of other people's personalities. Dreams that provided solutions to problems the dreamer hadn't even fully understood yet. This suggests something that challenges our materialist understanding of consciousness, that in the dream state, we may have access to information and wisdom that transcends the normal boundaries of individual awareness. Taylor called this the transpersonal dimension of dreaming. Now you might be thinking, but I barely remember my dreams, and when I do, they seem completely meaningless. This is exactly what Taylor expected to hear. He found that our culture has systematically trained us to ignore and devalue our dreams. We're taught that rational, logical thought is superior to intuitive, symbolic communication. We're conditioned to dismiss anything that can't be immediately understood or practically applied. But Taylor discovered something extraordinary. The ability to remember and understand dreams can be developed like any other skill. People who claim they never dream are actually dreaming just as much as everyone else. They've simply learned to forget their dreams so quickly that they don't remember having them. The first step in reconnecting with your dream guidance is simply paying attention. Keep something to write with beside your bed. The moment you wake up, before you move, before you think about your day, ask yourself, what was I just experiencing? Often, fragments will come back to you. Write them down, no matter how strange or incomplete they seem. But here's what Taylor discovered that most people miss. You don't need to understand your dreams intellectually to benefit from them. The very act of paying attention to your dreams begins to strengthen the communication between your conscious and unconscious mind. You start to develop what he called dream literacy, the ability to sense the emotional and symbolic significance of dream imagery, even when you can't analyze it rationally. Taylor found that people who consistently pay attention to their dreams begin to notice something remarkable. Their dreams start to respond to their attention. The dreams become clearer, more memorable, more obviously relevant to their waking concerns. It's as if the unconscious mind, seeing that its messages are finally being received, begins to communicate more directly and helpfully. Think about this. What if your inability to remember your dreams isn't a limitation, but a choice your psyche is making because it doesn't believe you're ready to listen? What if your dreams are already trying to guide you, but you've unconsciously closed the channel of communication? Jeremy Taylor observed that when people begin to pay serious attention to their dreams, they often go through what he called the shock of recognition. They realize that their dreams have been addressing their most important life issues all along. The relationship problems they've been struggling with, the career confusion they've been experiencing, the spiritual questions they've been avoiding, all of it has been showing up in their dreams, waiting for them to pay attention. But paying attention is just the beginning. Taylor developed techniques for what he called dream dialogue, ways of actively engaging with dream imagery to extract its guidance. He found that you can ask your dreams questions and receive answers. You can revisit dream scenarios in meditation and explore them more deeply. You can even learn to become conscious within your dreams and directly interact with the guidance they're offering. This might sound mystical or impossible, but Taylor documented thousands of cases of people who learned these skills and used them to transform their lives. They learned to treat their dreams not as random entertainment, but as personal consultations with the wisest therapist they could ever have, their own unconscious mind. Here's something that will challenge everything you think you know about problem solving. Taylor found that dreams often provide solutions that the rational mind could never generate. The unconscious mind doesn't think linearly. It doesn't follow logical procedures. It makes connections that seem impossible, sees patterns that aren't obvious, and generates insights that transcend conventional understanding. Have you ever struggled with a problem for weeks or months, only to have the solution come to you suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere? Taylor's research suggests that your unconscious mind was probably working on that problem in your dreams long before your conscious mind found the answer. The sudden insight was actually the result of extensive unconscious processing that happened while you were sleeping. This is why some of the greatest discoveries in science, art, and innovation have come through dreams. Kekulé discovered the structure of benzene in a dream. Tesla saw the design for alternating current in a dream. Stephen King got the idea for his novel Misery from a nightmare. These weren't coincidences. These were examples of the unconscious mind solving problems that the conscious mind couldn't crack. But you don't have to be a genius or an artist to access this kind of guidance. Taylor found that everyone has the capacity to receive problem-solving insights through dreams. The key is learning to ask the right questions and creating the right conditions for receiving answers. Before you go to sleep tonight, try this. Clearly formulate a question or problem you're facing. Write it down. Ask your unconscious mind to work on it while you sleep. Tell yourself that you're open to receiving guidance, even if it comes in symbolic form. Then pay attention to what you dream. You might not get a direct answer immediately. Dream guidance rarely works like a Google search. Instead, you might dream of scenarios that, when you reflect on them, reveal new perspectives on your situation. You might dream of symbols that, when you explore their personal meaning for you, point towards solutions you hadn't considered. Jeremy Taylor discovered that dreams speak in the language of metaphor and symbol, because these forms of communication can convey complex, multidimensional meanings that ordinary language cannot capture. A single dream image might simultaneously represent your relationship with your mother, your fear of authority, your creative potential, and your spiritual aspirations. This isn't confusion, it's efficiency. Your unconscious mind is addressing multiple levels of your being at once. But here's where Taylor's work becomes deeply healing. He found that dreams don't just offer guidance, they offer what he called unconditional acceptance. In your dreams, all aspects of yourself are allowed to exist. The parts of yourself that you've rejected, the emotions you've suppressed, the desires you've denied, they all have a place in the dream world. This acceptance creates the psychological safety necessary for real growth and healing. Have you ever noticed that in dreams, you often do things you would never do in waking life? You might be brave when you're usually timid, aggressive when you're usually passive, or vulnerable when you're usually defended. Taylor saw these as your psyche's way of experimenting with different ways of being, testing new aspects of your personality in a safe environment. The murderer in your dream isn't necessarily a sign that you have violent tendencies. It might represent your need to kill old patterns that no longer serve you. The romantic encounter with someone inappropriate isn't necessarily about sexual desire. It might represent your need to integrate qualities that person embodies. The disaster scenarios aren't necessarily predictions of doom. They might represent your fears about changes you need to make. This is why Jeremy Taylor was adamant that there are no bad dreams, only dreams that reveal difficult truths or unexplored potentials. Even nightmares, he found, are attempts by the psyche to bring unconscious fears into consciousness where they can be faced and resolved. The scariest dreams are often the most healing because they're addressing the deepest wounds and the most important transformations. Think about the last nightmare you had. Instead of dismissing it as meaningless anxiety, what if you approached it as a message from the wisest part of yourself? What if the frightening elements in the dream represent aspects of your life that need attention? What if the nightmare is actually your psyche's way of preparing you to face challenges you'll need courage to meet? Taylor observed that people who learn to work with their nightmares often find that the dreams begin to change. The threatening figures become helpful guides. The dangerous situations become opportunities for empowerment. The terrifying scenarios become initiations into greater strength and wisdom. This isn't positive thinking. This is the natural result of engaging consciously with unconscious material. But perhaps the most profound aspect of Taylor's work is his discovery that dreams can facilitate what he called soul retrieval. He found that dreams often contain images and scenarios that reconnect us with lost aspects of ourselves. Creativity we abandoned, dreams we gave up, relationships we never healed, or parts of our personality we rejected in order to fit in or survive. Have you ever dreamed of yourself as a child, engaging in activities you once loved but no longer pursue? Have you ever dreamed of conversations with people from your past that left you feeling emotionally resolved about old conflicts? Have you ever dreamed of versions of yourself living different lives and woken up with a sense of what might still be possible? These dreams aren't just nostalgic fantasies. According to Taylor's research, they're opportunities to reclaim lost vitality, to heal old wounds, and to integrate abandoned potentials back into your current life. Your unconscious mind is constantly working to make you more whole, and dreams are one of its primary tools. This understanding transforms how we think about personal growth and healing. Instead of seeing therapy as something you do with another person during scheduled appointments, you begin to realize that you have access to therapeutic guidance every single night. Your dreams are providing you with personalized insights that no external therapist could offer, because they arise from the depths of your own psyche. But Taylor made another crucial discovery. Dreams are not just personal. They often contain what he called collective elements, symbols and themes that connect us to the larger human experience. When you dream of archetypal figures like the wise old woman, the trickster, the hero, or the shadow, you're tapping into patterns of meaning that transcend your individual experience. This is why certain dream symbols appear across cultures and throughout history. The journey, the test, the transformation, the return. These are universal patterns that show up in dreams because they reflect fundamental aspects of the human experience. When you learn to recognize these patterns in your own dreams, you gain access to wisdom that extends far beyond your personal knowledge. Jeremy Taylor spent years studying what he called mutual dreams, instances where multiple people have similar or related dreams, often without any conscious coordination. He found that people who are emotionally or spiritually connected often dream about each other, sometimes receiving information about the other person's situation or state of mind. This suggests that consciousness in the dream state may not be as isolated and individual as we assume. Taylor theorized that dreams might provide access to what he called the collective unconscious, a realm of shared human experience and wisdom that transcends individual boundaries. If this sounds far-fetched, consider your own experience. Have you ever dreamed about someone and then discovered that they were going through exactly what you dreamed about? Have you ever had a dream that seemed to predict future events? Have you ever felt that a dream connected you to information or insight that you couldn't have accessed through ordinary means? Taylor documented thousands of such cases, suggesting that our rational, materialist understanding of consciousness and communication may be far too limited. In the dream state, we may have access to forms of knowledge and connection that operate outside the normal boundaries of space, time, and individual awareness. But even if you're skeptical about these more exotic possibilities, the practical benefits of dream work are undeniable. Taylor consistently found that people who pay attention to their dreams make better decisions, have more satisfying relationships, feel more connected to their authentic purpose, and navigate life's challenges with greater wisdom and resilience. This isn't because dreams provide magical solutions to life's problems. It's because dreams provide access to aspects of your own intelligence and wisdom that are usually unavailable to your conscious mind. When you learn to work with your dreams, you're essentially learning to consult with the smartest, most creative, most emotionally intelligent version of yourself. So tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow, remember this. You're not just going to sleep. You're entering a realm where your deepest wisdom is waiting to communicate with you. You're accessing a guidance system that has been operating your entire life, whether you've been paying attention or not. The question isn't whether your dreams are trying to guide you. The question is whether you're ready to listen. Are you ready to take seriously the possibility that your unconscious mind knows things your conscious mind doesn't? Are you ready to treat your dreams as more than random neural activity, but as communications from the wisest part of yourself? Jeremy Taylor spent 4 decades proving that dreams are not meaningless mental static, but purposeful messages from a deeper intelligence. He showed that every dream, no matter how strange or disturbing, contains what he called a gift of healing and wholeness. The only question is whether you're willing to unwrap that gift. Your dreams have been waiting for you your entire life, They've been patient, they've been persistent, they've been offering you guidance, healing, creativity, and wisdom every single night. The only thing that's been missing is your attention. Tonight, when you close your eyes, remember that you're not alone. Your unconscious mind is there, ready to communicate with you in the ancient language of symbol and metaphor. Your dreams are there, ready to show you aspects of yourself and your life that your waking consciousness cannot see. All you have to do is listen. All you have to do is remember. All you have to do is treat your dreams as the profound communications they truly are. The guidance you've been seeking is already there, waiting for you in the landscape of your dreams. The question is, are you ready to receive it?